trusted companion for real-time updates, expert analysis, and compelling conversations. We bring the world closer to you with clear, credible, and concise information at every moment. With our seasoned reporters and sharp broadcasters, we dig deep to uncover the facts behind the headlines from your neighborhood to the global stage. Stay connected with 24 News Radio and Television for breaking news and current happenings across the globe. 24 News Radio and Television. The world is closer than you think.
Good afternoon, our viewers from all over the world. You're welcome to News at Noon, happening live on 24 News Radio and Television. I am Aiba Karina Wari. First, the headlines. Politics without bitterness will strengthen democracy, Oyebanji. Tinubu here to return after Turkey visit. NNPP kicks as pressure mounts on Kano Deputy Governor to resign. FCT workers appeal industrial court ruling resumes strike. NAFDAC resumes enforcement of sachet alcohol ban, denies business shutdown. Filmmaker Stanley Amandi arrested over alleged coup plot against Tinubu. Now the news in details. Ekiti State Governor Mr. Biodun Oyebanji has called on politics without bitterness as a means of strengthening Nigeria's democracy and ensuring peaceful elections. Speaking at the Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, during the Faculty of Arts Distinguished Alumni Lecture chaired by him, the governor urged politicians to shun the winner takes all attitude and embrace inclusion, consensus, and respect for opposing views. Oyebanji said his administration inclusive style has brought peace and stability to Ekiti State. He maintained that elections should not be treated as war but as opportunities to serve the people. Guest lecturer and chairman editorial board of the Nation newspaper, Mr. Sam, in his lecture titled How to Make a Democrat, argued that democracy is more of an ideal than a reality, noting that many nations only claim to practice it without upholding its core values. The event was attended by top government officials from Ekiti and Osun states, including representatives of students and youth groups. President Tinubu departed Nigeria on Monday, January 26th for Ankara, Turkey. He was engaged in a series of diplomatic activities in Ankara. In a statement issued earlier, the President's Special Advisor on Information and Strategy, Mr. Bayo Onanuga, said President Tinubu was expected to return to the country at the conclusion of the visit. However, Onanuga did not specify when the state visit would end or the exact date of the president's return. Efforts to confirm the president's return date or to ascertain whether the visit had officially concluded were unsuccessful. Both Onanuga and Mr. Daniel Buwala, special advisor to the president on policy communication, could not be reached for comments on the development. Meanwhile, it was gathered from sources within the presidency that part of the president's visit involved business engagement between Nigeria and Turkish business leaders, as well as meetings with top government officials, some of which may still be ongoing. At the end of the bilateral meetings on Wednesday, officials from both countries signed 9 agreements aimed at strengthening cooperation in key sectors. Pressure is beginning to mount on Kano State Deputy Governor Aminu Abdusalam Gwazo to resign over his refusal to join his boss, Governor Abba Yusuf, in defecting to the All Progressives Congress APC. The Kano State Commissioner for Information and Internal Affairs, Ibrahim Waya, had advised the Deputy Governor to resign, adding that his continued participation in the executive affairs without political alignment undermines trust and confidentiality in governance. But the new Nigerian People's Party, NNPP, has rejected the call for the Deputy Governor's resignation, saying that the State Executive Council is a constitutional body that should not be dragged into partisan disputes. Concern about the fate of the Deputy Governor had emerged shortly after Governor Yusuf's defection on Monday. Governor Yusuf Angwaso were elected on the NPP platform. The workers of the Federal Capital Territory Administration (FCTA) under the Joint Union Action Committee (JUAC) on Thursday resumed the indefinite strike they began on January 19 over unresolved welfare issues. The news agency of Nigeria, NAN, reports that only a few workers were seen around the FCTA secretariat, departments, and agencies compared to the massive turnout on Wednesday. The development was in compliance with the draft directive to the workers to stay at home. The action followed the appeal of the ruling of the National Industrial Court on January 22nd, which directed the workers to suspend the strike and adjourn the matter to March 23. The union filed the appeal against the decision of the Industrial Court through its lead counsel, Femi Falana. Following the ruling, Mrs. Nancy Nathan, acting head of the civil service of the FCTA, had directed all FCTA workers to resume work on Wednesday. FCT Minister Nyesom Wike equally warned that there would be consequences for any worker who refused to resume. Wike assured the workers that the FCTA was open to reasonable negotiation, adding, however, that the majority of their demands had been addressed. The Ogun State Police Command has dismantled a child trafficking and illegal surrogacy syndicate operating under the guise of an orphanage facility in Agbara area of Ado-Odo Ota local government area of the state. The State Commissioner of the Police, CP Lanre Ogunlowo, disclosed this at a press conference on Thursday, stating that the breakthrough was achieved through intelligence gathering by operatives of the anti-kidnapping unit of the State Criminal Investigation Department. CP Ogunlowo revealed that 7 children were rescued and 5 principal suspects arrested, exposing a planned sale of babies at the rate of 1.5 million naira per child. The police boss explained that a complainant identified as Amara had sometime in November reported the abduction of her 6-year-old son, Samuel Honesty, at the Idayi Divisional Headquarters. According to him, preliminary investigations led to the arrest and prosecution of Chioma Honest and Praise Honesty for suspected foul play, after which the case was transferred to the SCID for in-depth investigation. CP Ogunlowo said that the adopted child was later dropped at the Gowon police station on 21st January and subsequently taken to the custody of a woman identified as Madam Joy, who was said to be operating Joyful Kids Orphanage in Badagry. He stated that operatives conducted a coordinated operation at the orphanage, rescuing 6 additional children and bringing the total number of rescued minors to 7. The rescued children were identified as Rancy Chidozie, 8 years old, Raphael Rofus, 6 years old, Kazim Chiedozie, 6 years old, Shegun Utman, 9 years old, Ola Abdul Hakim Abdul Rashid, 9 years old, David Oyelese, 9 years old, and Samuel Honesty, 6 years old. The commissioner emphasized that Samuel Honesty had safely been reunited with his mother Amara for bringing closure to a traumatic experience and restoring the family unit. During the operation, 2 pregnant young women identified as Tamimola Martins, 18 years, and Favor Martins, 18 years, were discovered within the facility. They reportedly confessed that they were recruited to carry pregnancies with the intention of selling their babies to prearranged buyers upon delivery at the fee of 1.5 million naira per child, facilitated by the orphanage operator. CP Ogunlowo added that the remaining 6 rescued children had been formally handed over to the Ogun State Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development for protective custody, welfare assessment, and family tracing. The National Agency for Food, Drug Administration and Control has resumed enforcement of the ban on the production and sale of alcoholic beverages packaged in sachet and small plastic or glass bottles below 200 millimeters. The agency clarified that it did not shut down any alcohol producing company, but only prohibited the sale of alcohol in sachet and small containers, citing public health concerns. In a statement on Thursday, the Director General of NAFDAC, Professor Mojisola Christina Adeyeye, said the move was aimed at protecting children, adolescents, and young adults from the harmful use of alcohol. The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control has resumed enforcement of the ban on the production and sale of alcoholic beverage packaged in sachet and small volume PETs or glass bottles below 200 ml, in line with a resolution of the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the agency's public health mandate, the statement read. According to the agency, the widespread availability of high alcohol content beverages in sachet and small containers everlasting. You see what I wanted to do, Mr. Raphael? See my hand. As I saw it here, I thought I'll remove this one.
Put on this hand.
Hallelujah.
Mike, come.
I don't wanna. Okay,
Sokoto.
make I on self. Hallelujah. You don't start.
You think it's still on good? Never cut.
Oh, we made this thing called to Mr. Raphael. It talk. End it now.
Wait. Let me go on this one to see.